Hi everyone, Alex here, AMRC, and I have the Axial SCX 24 Deadbolt, trying to catch the last bits of snow. We had some snow a few days ago, but it was also very windy after it rained. But on the edge of my little town, there's still some snow left. So I want to see how this little guy does. But today's video will be different from my usual, because I am in a state of shock. We just had presidential elections here in Romania yesterday, and I think everyone's shocked by the results. So, spoiler alert, notice, however you want to call it, this won't be a usual video, but I'll be running this while I talk. And if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, let's go. See what this little guy can do. And as I said, I and probably a lot of people in my country are in shock. You might even see something on the news internationally, because these are probably the most shocking elections in a democracy in recent, or maybe more than recent history. So basically what happened, first time we get stuck. We have our presidential elections, and unlike other countries where just two candidates, or I don't know, it depends, we had this year 14 candidates. That's a lot even for us. There should have been 15 actually, but one of them was not allowed to vote due to statements, actions that go against the Constitution, apparently. Although she has been in the Parliament, and since this year in the European Parliament. Ooh. Yeah, so we had a pretty colorful election. Lots of options, you can imagine. There's the main parties that have been in power since Romania became a democracy almost 35 years ago. I can't get up this hill. And the main favorite, and was expected to go on to the second round, because that's what happens. The first two, unless one of them gets more than 50% of the votes, the first two go into a second round, which will be in 2 weeks. And in 1 week we have the parliamentary elections. That's gonna be interesting again. Whoa. Yeah. There's not a lot of snow, but still, this thing is tiny. Yeah, so the favorite in the elections was the leader of the main political party, which is a socialist. Basically, it's a continuation of the Communist Party. And some way or another, they have been in power for the last 35 years. They haven't had presidents except 2 times, and the last time that happened, it was something very similar to what happened today, or yesterday. Yeah, so there was this guy, we'll call him Red, and there were 3-4 other contenders to the second spot. There was Orange, who's an basically extremist party, anti-EU, anti-NATO, so on. There's Yellow, the other main political traditional party, or the Liberals, and they've also been in power. Well, now we really got stuck, more or less in the past decades. And then we have blue, or the newer party, or again liberals, but the difference is this is a newer party and it's made out of people who are not politically connected, who just got into politics through this party, because that's another characteristic of our politics. People do swing from party to party for functions, and I don't mean voters. Voters do, of course, but also party members. Okay, let's try a different route with our tiny rolled over. And yeah, it was a close race between these three for second spot: yellow, orange, and blue. And there were also one more candidate who apparently was independent, but used to be part of the Red Party years ago. He had also been second in NATO for the past few years, I think 4 or 5 years. His term just ended. And yeah, he was also a presidential candidate, I think 14 years ago. Ooh, picked up a lot of snow on that wheel. Let's see if we can shake it off. And a few months ago, he was also given as a favorite in the polls. And last night, when the voting was over, exit polls came out, there was a bit of a shock. It wasn't that shocking because a red guy was credited with most votes, as everyone expected. Surprisingly, the blue lady, who hasn't been in politics for that long, I think she was a reporter for television, and then she ran for mayor in a small town, and she won on the first try. And then after her first term, she ran again and she won by 70-80%. Again, it's a small town. Well, yeah, let me get the snow off. So many people didn't think that much of it and didn't think she had chances. And in the exit polls, on third place, we have this pink guy who has no political party behind him. He wasn't even in most polls. I don't know, a lot of people didn't even think he was an option. Ooh. Yeah, it really picks up the snow. And surprise, surprise, he was in third place. And what's even more interesting, he used to be in the orange guy's party, but he got kicked out for being way too extremist, even for them, even for the radical right-wing nationalist party. They thought he was too much. But apparently he had a really strong TikTok campaign, and I wonder who financed that, because he basically won first place. Yeah, last night was almost sleepless for me. I was watching the votes being counted, and quickly this pink guy, who no one knows about, at least in my circle. I maybe heard of him, but had no idea who he was. Didn't think he even stood any chance. And yeah, pretty soon he climbed up to first spot, and we were afraid him and red guy, who was the favorite after all, would go on in the second round. And of course we'd have to vote for the red guy, because what are we gonna do with a lunatic? And Okay, I don't know if he is a lunatic, but the opinions he's expressed are, of course, anti-EU, anti-NATO, pro-Russia, and it's just baffling how he could get over 2 million votes. That's over 20% of the votes we had, around 52% of the eligible population voting. And slowly but surely, Blue, this underdog lady, started gaining votes, because the first results come in from the smaller places where they count votes faster. And also, Romania has a lot of people abroad. It's somewhere between 4 and 6 million Romanian citizens live outside the country, and they can vote elsewhere in the world as long as they still have Romanian citizenship. And they played a big part in swinging the result of this vote, voting for Blue, but also they voted massively, I think over 40% outside of Romania, for this pink guy who apparently just campaigned on TikTok. Now, I don't use TikTok, but of course a lot of people do, and apparently that's where he gained traction, just with populism and just saying what people want to hear. And yeah, this is a very harsh lesson that every vote counts. I'll try and post some screenshots. They were counting the votes, and we were close to 99% of the votes counted. And there was a really tight battle for second place. At some point, the gap closed from 500,000-600,000 vote difference between Red, who was in second place, and Blue for third. And just this morning, Blue went ahead by hundreds of votes. So that goes to show every single vote is important. Yeah, I voted for Blue because, although maybe it's not an ideal option, as I said, it's not someone with experience in politics, but it's probably the most honest candidate. And yeah, hopefully now they'll go into the second round, and hopefully people will realize what the danger is if they don't go out and vote, and what can happen with extremism. And although I'm not politically involved, I did a major in political science at university, so I know a thing or two about politics. Yeah, it's I'm still in shock, and I think a lot of people are. Even this little guy, see, he can crawl. So man, oh man. And yeah, there is suspicion that, you know, outside forces were involved in financing and promoting him. It's funny, people do not know him. How can there be someone that is so unknown to, let's see, 70-80% of the population and still win? And you know, there's this talk about bubbles. We're in our own circles. We stick around people who have the same ideas and beliefs as us. But man, this is so shocking and unexpected, and I can't think of anywhere in the world where this has happened. Maybe unless we go back to fascist Germany. So it's that serious. Of course, Romania is not a superpower or a major power like Germany was in the 1930s, but We are a NATO and European Union country, so whoa, I'd roll over. And I have to go down this pretty steep hill. Now you can't really see it on camera, but maybe you'll get an idea. I think it's 40-degree angle easily. I wonder if it can climb. I clear off the snow, and the snow does get stuck. Okay, let's see. And there were some really close elections in our neighboring country, Moldova. I mean, if you probably don't care about Romania, you might have not even heard about Moldova. It's a small country. It's right between Romania and Ukraine. It's the poorest country in Europe, one of the smallest. I don't know, their population 3-4 million, something like that. And the population is mostly Romanians, but since World War II, until the Soviet Union broke up, it was part of the Soviet Union. And there, they said they had presidential elections a few weeks ago. They had a pro-European president, female, and she was running against several pro-Russian, or depends. I'm not really up to date, but yeah, there are sister countries, so to call it, and the elections there have heavily been interfered by Russia. They basically paid people to vote for their candidate, and it was really close, but the pro-European won, fortunately, so we don't have another Russian satellite on our border, because yeah, our neighbors are Ukraine, who's at war, and Moldova. There's Hungary, also has a really funky leader, which they can't seem to get rid of. And I think it's yeah, we're very close to getting there as well. And there's also Serbia, who's, you know, Russian friendly, and Bulgaria, who's kind of like us but also struggling. Yeah, so it's really strange times, a difficult and really shocking situation. And I'll post, if I haven't already, some screenshots. You'll see how close the battle was for second place, and how shocking a guy who wasn't even in the polls, or when he was, he had like 1-3%, and he won first place. How? I wonder. I really wonder how. So let this be a lesson for everyone who believes in democracy, because I am starting to wonder if democracy is the best political system. But hey, I think it's the best one we got so far. If anyone can come up with anything better. And the snow really sticks to these tires. And there's lots of leaves here. Let me see if I can find a clear spot. Yeah, I told you at the beginning this won't be a usual video, but if you've stayed this long and listened to my rant, at least you had some RC backdrop to look at. Or if not, they said this is just a way to get it off my chest, because it's been a stressful night for me with this, and as a warning to everyone out there, be very grateful if you're in a country where you're allowed to vote. Don't think your vote doesn't matter. And you know, there's millions, if not maybe billions, of people who cannot democratically vote. they don't have a choice. They just have to go with what's given and decided for them. Okay, now we're crawling. Have a few rocks and bricks around here. Yeah, you know, Romania, great country. Too bad it's inhabited. That's a saying we have. Because, yeah, people throw stuff in places where they shouldn't. Like here, but it makes for some interesting crawling. At least it's not plastic or other crap. Oh my god, guys. I don't know if you're interested in this. This isn't a political channel. I'm all about RC, but this is such a once-in-a-lifetime event, and it's more than national. It's a warning to what can happen anywhere in the world if we don't vote and we just go by what others tell us without fact-checking. I don't want to get into details. I don't want to get this video or my channel banned. I don't know if they can do that, but anyway, this guy, as I said, the pink guy, has connections with Russia, as the orange guy has also been accused of connections with Russia. It hasn't been proven. Lots of people said he was or is a Russian spy or paid, supported by the Russians, and he only got 4th place, thank God, but still he got about 14-15% of the votes, which is a lot. And if you add the 22% this pink guy got, it's over 35%, and that's scary for any democracy. And yeah, this orange guy is banned for entering Moldova and also Ukraine. Both countries said it's because of his political activism, because he's basically promoting the unification of Romania and Moldova, which, I don't know, it might have been an option 20-25 years ago when Moldova broke loose from the USSR, but I don't think it's possible anymore. But who knows? Look at what happened. Now, anything and everything is possible. Also in Ukraine, because Ukraine also has territories that were part of Romania before World War II, and there's a small Romanian minority living in Ukraine, and there were talks about their rights not being fully respected, and especially now if Ukraine wants to be part of the EU, that might be a concern. But of course nothing's gonna happen till the awful war is over. And another fun fact, as I mentioned earlier, that 4 to 6 million Romanians live in other countries. A few years ago, we were actually the country with the second most people after Syria, who was at war, and of course they had millions of refugees. So we were the country with the second most number of population living outside the country. Now, I think Ukraine might be in the first or second spot, and no wonder. There's so lots of Ukrainians that have fled to Romania since the war started. Even have some neighbors from Ukraine. They do speak Romanian because, as I said, they do have a Romanian minority, but yeah, that's something we live in fear with, because Russia is not that far away from us, especially with the territories they gained from Ukraine. Let's hope this war ends soon and in satisfactory terms for everyone. Yeah, so I don't know, I've been ranting, babbling for over 20-30 minutes, who knows. But man, it's something else, I'll tell you. And in 6 days we have parliament elections. That will also be very interesting to see what happens, because the whole political system, the two main parties, their candidates, and usually the leader of the party is presidential candidate as well. And the two main parties that have been running the country for 35 years have gotten 3rd and 5th place. So yeah, that's another shocker. We're probably going to see a lot of changes in their organization. And 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the final for the presidential elections. I hope everyone wakes up and takes this as a warning, and we won't have any unpleasant surprises in the second round. If you're interested, if you have any opinions, if you would like me to talk more about this, of course, while doing RC, because that's the main purpose of this channel, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you landed here just for this topic and don't care about RC, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll try and make another political and historical channel. I do like history, and Romania does have a lot of history, especially in the past 200 years. There's been some radical changes, and we're living history right now. We had this situation 24 years ago where we had another extremist candidate running for presidency, who ended up in 2nd spot, and with the red candidate in 1st spot. And people just went out to vote for red to get rid of the extremist and the risk of him becoming president. And I was afraid that would repeat again, but fortunately, at least for me and probably a large portion of the population, we have an alternative. We have someone. I have the candidate that I voted in the second round, and hopefully it will all end up in a good way. So thanks very much for watching. I'm Alex, this is AMRC, and this is the Axial SCX 24 Deadbolt. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you watched this long, don't forget to leave comments. I don't care, any comment is good for a debate, as long as it's not disrespectful. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if it's not your thing, I won't mind. Subscribe if you like my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.